What an episode of Boku no Hero Academia! Oh, what a fantastic episode! Oh my god, that fucking episode! The fight with Nomu versus... Oh my god! Oh, anime onlys! If you're unaware, I'm a big All Might fan. Manga readers know I'm an All Might fanboy. Oh my god, this episode was my cup of tea. Oh, this was such a fucking wonderful treat for me. Waking up first thing in the morning and seeing this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful piece of an episode. Oh, this episode was so good. The fight, that fucking fight. Oh my god, dude, that was so fucking good. It was so fucking good. When you see All Might going in up against Nomu, like I'm punching his fucking alley, like I'm punching his ass. That shit got me hyped, dude. I was so fucking hyped when I saw that scene. That entire scene of this episode of All Might going in against Nomu, each fucking punch against Nomu, beating the fuck out of dude. That was just so badass. That was so fucking badass. Am I the only one feeling this right now? Am I the only one that feels like this episode was just so badass? Seeing that scene, manga readers, you have to admit, that scene when All Might was fighting Nomu, and you see the entire fucking background rotating as they're flipping upside down and shit, it reminded me of something from One Punch Man. I'm not even joking. That reminded me of the fight of Saitama versus Boros, Lord Boros. That's exactly what that reminded me of. When I saw that, I was like, yo, this fucking episode is so fucking bomb, it's badass, dude. I just hit my arm, that hurt a little bit, but fuck it, it is so fucking hype. I'll tell you. Oh, this is why I watch anime. I watch anime for entertainment, and that entertainment I just got from this episode was so fucking yo. Okay. Let me chill. Getting a little bit lightheaded here. It was just so good. I love All Might. He is my favorite character. Seeing this shit right here. Oh my god. Okay. So let's talk about the scene in general. The overall fight. The fucking fight, dude. And, yo, I'm getting fanboy mode again. That scene, the animation and art, and especially the background was so on point. Now, some of the art in some scenes didn't look 10 out of 10, but when it came to the animation in the background, oh, dude, that looked way too good. It reminded me of One Punch Man, especially the scenes in One Punch Man where you saw, Saitama fighting Lord Boros, and you saw the background was moving and shit. That's exactly what that reminded me of. And if I could be remembering, Saitama's fight in Boku no Hero Academia, that is amazing. That's very good. That's very good. Studio Bones, very good work. Very, very, very good work. You did very good work with this episode. The entire production team that worked on this episode needs a fucking pay raise. They did a very good fucking job. They did a very good job. Like, the music in general. The music, especially in the first 4 minutes, that was some really good shit. I'm not counting, like, the opening song as the first 4 minutes. Just FYI. The first 4 minutes, the music used, especially when All Might gets there and he goes super fast, like they don't even see him, he's that fast, he saves everybody. The music used in those scenes sounded so good. And then just the way there was so much emphasis on how strong All Might was, because this is the first time we've really seen All Might go in with his power. And when he was fighting Nomu, and he was punching this man, beating the fucking shit out of him, and he's a shock absorber, it was just so crazy. And he was putting a lot of power into his punches, because there was a lot more emphasis on the fight when Nomu and All Might were going at it with their fist. You saw the wind just starting blowing everybody away. It was literally blowing everyone away. The power of those punches were knocking everyone back where they couldn't even get near them, and that's just crazy when you think about that. That's how powerful All Might was. But what is even more insane is when you factor in how strong and how fast he was going. He said he only had 1 minute left until he powered down. That's what All Might said before the exchange of fists began. He said he had 1 minute. You can go back and look yourself. Now, he said he had 1 minute, and he beat the fuck out of Nomu. Like, the entire scene was like a minute long when it was going on in the actual series. It was a minute long, fighting, punching back and forth, and All Might says at the end, when Nomu gets punched out of the fucking, entire arena, and he's like, plus ultra, he says he did 300 punches against Nomu. And he said in his prime All Might could have defeated him in 5 punches. 5 fucking punches, he could have wiped that man up like he was nothing. But it took him 300 punches. That is just insane. And he finished this man off in 1 minute. 300 punches, 1 minute. Holy fuck. You not see how fucking insane that is? So, Prime All Might is just ridiculous. Just imagine how strong this man was before his injury. Just think about that real quick. Just take a moment to picture how strong he is in prime state. Yeah, that's insane. Now you can probably see why I like All Might quite a bit. But it's not just that, though. I also like Shigaraki. Shigaraki's character in this episode makes him a fantastic villain. I love the villains in Boku no Hero Academia. Shigaraki is such a good display of a villain. Like, you have to love how he looks at the entire situation. He treats everything like a game, and it adds a little bit of a different layer to his character, and it makes you question what is really going on and how he really thinks. And I love the way his character is kind of displayed in the anime, and it reminds me so much of, how I first thought of his character when I first saw him. I don't want to spoil anything, but I love the way his character is being shown. I love the characterization and how many people could probably peg him as someone that treats everything like a game, because, he's like, oh, game over, oh, we get to continue, oh, you're a cheater, he used cheats, hacks, or whatever. And just, you gotta love the way he uses these gaming terms and stuff, and the way he views the entire situation as a game, not something like real life serious consequences. It's really cool, but also you gotta love the presence he gives off too. He seems to be like one of those younger type villains, but he does have a menacing aura to where you don't really want to underestimate him. I mean, we already saw how smart he was in last week's episode. We already saw what he did to our Eraserhead Aizawa. He wrecked him pretty fucking bad. So we know he's not someone you can easily take out. He's someone that has a really sharp mind. He's not just, crazy or evil to be evil, as we can see. He has other motives and goals in mind. And also, you gotta love how he was explaining the situation of heroes and villains, and how he was deconstructing the meaning of what All Might was doing. Let me explain. So, All Might came in, and he saved Izuku and everybody else by using violence. For instance, he punched all of the villains unconscious. They all went unconscious thanks to All Might coming in using violence. And Shigaraki, he makes a point and says, well, didn't you do the exact same thing, All Might? You came in here to save your friends and your students and all that? Didn't you use violence to do what you think is heroic? Well, that's what I'm doing. I'm using violence to save my comrade you currently have trapped. That is very funny and ironic when you think about it like that, because some of the things that Shigaraki says in this episode isn't necessarily untrue. It actually does have some meaning to it, and you gotta love how he kind of expresses some of the hypocritical things about being a hero and being a villain. I love that so much, and I'm gonna say right now, that is not the last time you're probably gonna see that in the series. I'm just gonna say right now, that is not the last time, because there's some really good stuff from the series. The writing is amazing, and that right there is definitely a good point of this episode. I love that point of this episode, especially the way Shigaraki brought that up. So, overall, this episode, besides me being completely fucking hyped, I'm curious on how anime-onlys feel. That's my biggest worry, because, look, I've read this material before. I've read it about a year ago. It was about a year, maybe a year and a half ago. It was a long time ago when I read this. I mean, seriously. I have my playlist of Boku no Hero Academia. If I was to go back to my videos, I think this was around chapter 18 or 19, the events in this episode. Yeah, this was chapter 18 or 19. And it's been a very long time since I've read this chapter, this, like, in the manga. And it was like a year and a half ago. And I remember just being so fucking hyped. I really hope so many of you anime-onlys were as hyped as I was when I first saw this, because it was just something so unbelievable, and it was a game changer for the series, and also seeing All Might do what he did, it was just so badass. So I really hope anime-onlys got some really good enjoyment from this episode, and I really appreciate the series a whole lot more than they already did, because, I mean, I know many people have been saying that Boku no Hero Academia is slow, it has these issues, these stop with the recaps, and personally, I'm fine with the recaps. I am fine with it being slow because it's been a very well done series. There's so much good quality put in this series. The pacing is on point, and I really don't see much issues with the series. In fact, they're even adding more scenes to it to make it actually even better. And I love that about this adaptation of Boku no Hero Academia. I wish more animators and studios would actually put in the work like Studio Bones is doing. For instance, you know, Studio Clown, if they actually put more work into Tokyo Ghoul, imagine how good that series would have been. So, seriously, Studio Bones, you're quickly moving up into one of my favorite studios. I love Madhouse, I love Ufotable, I love both of those studios, but I gotta say, I really love you. I really love you, Studio Bones. You did a very good job with this episode. You did a very good job with this series so far. There's only one episode left, and there's really no way you can really mess it up. So, I'm just gonna say it now. You did a very good job, Studio Bones. I know you're probably never going to see this video, but I just gotta say my feelings about them. They did a very good job, and I'm so glad they delivered with such quality content week after week. And I, as a fan of the manga, can appreciate this anime adaptation, not think of it as a stain on the series' name. I'm really glad to be able to watch this and be satisfied. So that's it. I am done. You all have a wonderful day or night wherever you live. Please be safe. Chibi out.